There are 15 hidden features and settings that I found after flying the DJI Mavic 4 Pro for over a year. And in this video, I'm gonna let you in on all of them. And chances are you don't know about at least some of these features, and some of them could keep you from crashing or losing your Mavic 4 Pro. So let's dive right in. So hidden feature number one is cruise control. You won't find this anywhere on the main screen. To get to it, you'll have to go into the settings menu, come over to the control tab, and then scroll down to button customization. And you'll want to set one of your custom buttons. In this case, I have custom 1 set to cruise control, which is under the control tab of settings. And now when you are flying the drone, if you don't feel like holding down your sticks the entire time, you can just click the custom 1 button on the back of your remote. It will tell you that cruise control is enabled, your drone is in cruise control mode, and it will keep doing your drone move with no further inputs. And if we want to make a change, let's say we also want to have it going to the side and turning to the side like this, we can just make those changes with the stick and then click the button, and it will keep doing our new updated move. And as you can see, we are getting a great shot completely on autopilot. This is especially great for longer shots where you don't want to have to be manually holding down the sticks the entire time. So let's say, for example, I want to get a shot here of the valley, flying to the side and slowly turning. I can just start that move, click cruise control, and it will continue that move perfectly smoothly without me having to touch it, which is great if you want to speed the shot up because there won't be any little micro jitters from not having perfectly smooth control with your fingers. So just a super handy hidden feature to help you get smoother drone shots. And hidden feature number 2 is unlocking the max speed on the Mavic 4 Pro. Now, you might have heard that the Mavic 4 Pro can go up to 60 miles an hour in sport mode. But if you just pulled the drone out of the box and are using the default settings, you might not be getting that full speed. So to check if you have this set correctly and change it if you don't, you'll just go back into settings, and we'll come over here to control tab again, and then go to gain and expo tuning. And we'll want to click on the sport tab and make sure that max horizontal speed is all the way up at 60 miles per hour instead of the default of somewhere around 50. So just a useful tip to make your drone fly faster. By the way, if you want to get the most cinematic shots with your Mavic 4 Pro or whatever drone you have, there's something that you won't want to miss. I've put together a completely free 45-minute drone filmmaking training where I share my top 10 secrets to getting cinematic shots with your drone, covering everything from the best settings to use, how to compose your shots, how to get smooth natural movements, how to work with natural light, how to edit your footage, how to color grade it, and a whole bunch more. Again, it's completely free, no strings attached, and link to it is down in the description. Now on to our next hidden feature. And hidden feature number 3 is gain and expo tuning settings. These settings affect how the drone reacts to your stick inputs, and the default settings are not great for getting smooth cinematic drone moves. So to update these, we'll go back to exactly where we were before, to our gain and expo tuning settings under control. And here we have separate settings for normal and sport mode, a whole bunch of settings that you can set here. Now, I'm not going to go through all of my cinematic gain and expo tuning settings in this video because it's already going to be pretty long, but I've put them all into my completely free Mavic 4 Pro settings checklist. So you can just go download that PDF, link is in the description, and set your settings off of that. It'll be quicker and you'll be able to get smooth cinematic shots with your Mavic 4 Pro. And the gain and expo tuning settings that I use aren't the only ones that can work well. You can do your own testing and figure out what works for you, but these are the ones that I found to work well after flying Mavic drones for 7 years. Hidden feature number 4 is using a physical button to switch between cameras. I really don't like having to tap on the touchscreen to try to switch between the different cameras. To me, it's just awkward and not very efficient. So instead, what I've done is gone into our settings, again, to the control tab, spending a lot of time here, but this time we're going all the way down to button customization. And I'm going to set the C2 button to switch cameras. Now, there are a bunch of other things that sound kind of similar: switch to lens with high zoom, low zoom, adjust focal length, all these different things, but the one that actually does the job properly is switch cameras. So now I can just push this button on the back of my remote and we'll cycle through the 1x, 2.5x, and 6x sometimes cameras super efficiently without having to take any of your fingers off the controls while you are flying. Hidden feature number 5 is subject tracking autofocus. If you're filming, let's say a person, and I think this also works with some animals, as soon as they come into the frame, you'll see that there is a little yellow box around their head, or if you're farther away, around the whole person. And what this does is tracks the focus on your subject in real time. So if I go here and walk closer to the drone, you can see that it is keeping me perfectly in focus, even as I come right up to it. And then as I walk back away, it is again keeping me nicely in focus. And you can also use this to fly closer and further away from your subject. As you can see, as I fly in, it is keeping me perfectly in focus, so I don't have to worry about focusing. So just a super handy feature that a lot of people don't know exists on the Mavic 4 Pro. Hidden feature number 6 is color display assist. When you are shooting in D-Log-M or especially D-Log, the footage looks super flat and boring. So what you can do is just flip on color display assist right under where you select the colors, and it will add a lot of contrast to your shot. Now, especially in D-Log-M, this is still not super contrasty, but it looks way better than having it turned off. And moving on to tip number 7, which is using a wider aperture for sharper shots. Now, the Mavic 4 Pro does produce great sharp footage at whatever aperture you use. However, it's not quite as sharp at the narrowest apertures from f5.6 to f11. And the worst is from f8 through f9. If you want the sharpest footage, you're going to want to stick to the f4 to f2 range, and you will have tack sharp footage every time. Hidden feature number 8 is disabling downward obstacle avoidance. Now you might be asking me, John, why would I ever want to disable downward obstacle avoidance? Well, there's a couple reasons why. First of all, if you are trying to hand catch the drone, it will tend to fight you a little bit. Even in sport mode, it is just waiting a couple seconds before it comes down and lands on my hand. And most of the time, this is perfectly fine. However, if you are trying to catch it from the back of, let's say, a moving vehicle or from a boat or something like that, it can cause major problems. So instead, we can just go into our settings menu, come over to safety, scroll all the way down to the bottom to advanced safety settings, scroll down to the bottom and turn off vision positioning and obstacle sensing. Now, this will completely disable obstacle avoidance, so you don't want to do this very often, but now it will let me just bring it down, and it doesn't even hesitate to come into my hand. Now, you want to be careful because it also won't hesitate to hit the ground, so it can just slam right into the ground. That's not good. You only want to use this in very few situations. And the one other situation where this is useful is if you want to fly super close to the ground. With downward obstacle avoidance turned on, you can only go so close to the ground, whereas if you turn it off, you can go all the way down to just barely skimming over the ground. This is a pro move. You don't want to do this if you're just starting out, but it is a handy feature to know about. And just make sure to turn this back on when you're done, because you don't want obstacle avoidance completely turned off and not realize it. Tip number 9 is manual focus peaking. Now, most of the time it works great even when you are zoomed in to just click on things to focus, but sometimes it just doesn't want to get it right. And when that happens, you've just got to click on AF next to where you switch the cameras, and it will switch into manual focus mode, and now you can adjust the focus manually. However, it can be really hard, especially on the small screen of the RC2, to judge when things are in focus. So to fix that, we'll just go into our settings, over to the camera tab, and scroll down to right under histogram and anti-flicker is peaking level. You can turn this on low, normal, or high. We'll turn it on high for our demonstration. And now you can see it shows you in red what is in focus in your shot, and you can very precisely adjust. Now the tree is in focus, now the background is in focus. They all look pretty sharp to me on the screen, but on a bigger screen it does make a difference. And so the focus peaking tool lets you easily see on the small screen what is in focus. Next up, hidden feature number 10 is vision assist. Obstacle avoidance is great, but sometimes you don't want to rely on that entirely. entirely, and it'd be really great to be able to see out of that side of the drone so I know where I'm flying and know I'm not going to run into anything. So to do that, you'll just click down here in the bottom left corner of your screen to bring up this little widget. It will either be this little radar thing or a map, but if you keep swiping enough times, you will get to Vision Assist. And this basically looks at which direction you're flying the drone and gives you the view out of that obstacle avoidance camera. And if you want to see this bigger, you can also click on it, and then I have my actual camera feed down in the corner, so I can just check, see, okay, those trees are ways away. I should probably stop sometime about now before I hit them. If I'm flying backwards, I can see, okay, I'm all clear behind me and get a nice shot flying backwards and know I'm not going to hit into anything. Hidden feature number 11 is white balance tint. So if we go back here into our camera settings, you can see there's not only the warmth slider to adjust your Kelvin that is on most other drones, but right underneath there is also a tint slider that lets you make the shot more magenta or more green. Now, typically if you turn this way off, it's going to look terrible like it does right now. However, in some situations it can be super useful, especially if you are shooting under artificial light, for example, at night under stadium lights. And tip number 12 is grid lines and frame guides. Here we're going back again into our settings menu to the camera tab, and we are going to scroll down until we find grid lines. I always have the center marker and rule of thirds turned on. The center marker just helps you obviously center things up in the frame for a fully centered up composition, and it can also help you see exactly where you're flying the drone. And then the grid lines help you compose things according to the rule of thirds, which basically says to put important parts of your image on one of those horizontal or vertical thirds lines or on the points where they intersect. One of my favorite ways to use this is to put the horizon on one of those thirds lines, either on the top thirds line if I want to emphasize the ground, or on the bottom thirds line if I want to emphasize the sky. And right under that, there's also frame guides. This basically puts a little overlay on top of your video feed that shows what your footage will look like in a narrower aspect ratio. So for example, if you want to shoot widescreen CinemaScope, or if you are for some reason shooting for some kind of a, let's say, 1x1 square video platform, it will put that overlay on there so you can frame things up intentionally for that format when you're shooting. Now, this does not affect the footage that's recorded to the SD card. This is only a preview to help you with framing while you're shooting. And hidden feature number 13 is focusing with a half press of the shutter button. This is something you literally won't find anywhere in the menus, and I think very few people actually know that this is possible. So to do this, you just need to be in autofocus mode, not in manual focus. And then you literally just take the shutter button that takes photos on the drone and don't push it down all the way. That will switch over into photo mode. Or if you are in photo mode, it will take a photo. But instead, you just want to press it down halfway and it will reset your focus. So if I go off of what's in focus, well, it's automatically focusing there. Many times it will do that, but sometimes it won't. And then you can just hit the button to reset the focus. And if you're not sure if it is correctly focused on something, you can just tap that button and it will refocus, and you can be sure that your shot is sharp. Next up, tip number 14 is overexposure warnings and histogram. So if we go back into our settings menu here under the camera tab, we have two settings, histogram and overexposure warning. The first of these, the histogram, is a little graph that you can drag around down here on the screen. Essentially, to the right are your brightest whites and to the left are your darkest darks, and somewhere in the middle are your midtones, and top to bottom is how much of your shot is in each of those areas. And what you really don't want is for it to be all compressed up to one side. Here you can see it's all touching the right side, which means the sky is completely clipped out and white, and you don't want that. As you can see, it doesn't look very good. So we want to adjust our exposure so that it's not all scrunched up against either side. You ideally want it to be right in the middle. In this case, we kind of have a peak on either side, which is fine. We can fix that in post with color grading. However, you just don't want it to be all smashed against one end or the other. And then right down under that is overexposure warning. This just shows you what areas of your shot are getting close to clipping. I personally don't love this because I can tell more precisely what is and isn't clipping from my histogram. However, if you're not used to using a histogram, this can be helpful to visually alert you if you are getting parts of your image too bright. And hidden feature number 15 is getting full gimbal tilt in vertical shooting mode. So if we flip over here to our main wide angle camera and then flip it to vertical, you can see that we can only tilt it down about 16 degrees and only tilt it up again about 14 degrees. We have a very, very narrow tilt range. So to fix this, we can just flip it back to horizontal and then go over into our resolution settings and switch over to 4K 9:16. And this will take a vertical crop out of the full 4:3 height of the sensor, which is obviously not quite as high quality as the full 6K video and a bit narrower field of view, but it does give you your full gimbal tilt range, which makes it much handier for a lot of situations. So there you have my top 15 hidden features on the Mavic 4 Pro. You can click right here to watch my best cinematic settings to get amazing footage with your Mavic 4 Pro. Make sure to go check out my completely free drone filmmaking training. Link is in the description. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button to see more videos just like this, and I'll see you in the next video.